started, and I'm really looking at ROCCAT because I agree so much with Amne, and I said it yesterday during the game. That pick and ban phase of showing Quinn Kalista in your first rotation is just awful. When we have picks like Rammus in the meta, these tanks who can just stack armor. And honestly, ROCCAT basically lost the game in that pick and ban phase.
Yeah, unfortunate for ROCCAT. But unlike some of the other teams at the bottom of the table, ROCCAT actually have a game against Giants as one of their last ones to close the week out. And they play Origen today and Vitality. The reason I highlight that, if ROCCAT pick up a win against OG and a win against Giants, they are also potentially in the running.
For number 7.
For number 7. So ROCCAT's hopes of postseason, or summer season rather, could be made easier. Right, Kalista banned away along with Alistair and Lulu. Poki, Quinn, Gragas. There's no real surprises and a near insta-lock on that Nidalee.
Yeah, most likely Braum coming in from Origen, and you can then take Elise into the Nidalee. Early game, you are going to struggle a little bit. Get level 6 on Elise and you can actually apply a lot of pressure on Nidalee. You have some kill pressure with kick into your own Q. Braum, it's not going to be a surprise. It's definitely a power pick when it comes for the supports. Also, again, some good options. You know, Fiora is open. You don't have to take it early. Nautilus is open. I would like to see that here from ROCCAT. Give it to Freddy. I think he's a great tank player. And I think Nautilus is just such a fantastic pick in the current meta. Even in the early game, he actually has a really good laning phase. So I would prefer it. Also because their main damage dealer from Origen is always the AD carry. Nautilus clicks his ulti on that AD carry, and his damage suddenly gets greatly reduced.
Let's see if ROCCAT agree with you. Soaz has got a good smile on his face today. This does amazing, in fact. So, Chuckles in the OG camp. Maybe PTL crew will have to listen in and give us some insight. But for ROCCAT, a couple seconds left. Yesterday, they picked up that Nautilus Braum combo. Can't do the Braum today. And hovering the Rammus, I mean...
I think Nautilus is just so much better as a blind pick as well. Okay, that is smart though. They take away Trundle as well. So that kind of makes up for it, because I was about to say Soaz can take Trundle into Rammus, and you have a really good matchup for Origen. But by taking Trundle, yes, you show he's going to be support already, but you basically remove that potential counter pick for Soaz up in the top lane. Now, he is the kind of guy who plays some weird stuff from time to time, and Rammus is not the strongest laner, especially not against ranged champions.
No, definitely not. But what does this leave for Tabzz as far as AD carry is concerned? Sivir would probably do very well with this team comp.
If he's a Jhin player, aim for that one as well with the Nidalee. Land Spear into W from Jhin. Very long-range poke composition. You got disengage from Trundle support as well. But yeah,
assuming Zven doesn't take it away, if memory serves correctly, Zven had pentakills on.
He's on Lucian
Reddit a little while ago. Oh, thank you. See, look at me now. Yeah. I'm the play-by-play.
You are the play-by-play. Hey, it could have been Lucian top. You know,
no,
we talked about some of the picks.
That was a one-time thing. We all got too excited about it at the time.
This is
hasn't happened again.
The normal response. Sources are not gonna pick anything fancy. Instead, Fiora, a matchup we see very often into Rammus. Same deal. Get 2-3 items under your belt, get some lifesteal, and you become a split pushing threat. Problem is Rammus will force teamfights on you. So I think Sivir here would make a lot of sense for ROCCAT, because you already look at Fiora as a split pusher. You're not going to be able to match with your Rammus. Aim for teamfights then.
Okay.
Take Sivir, speed up your Trundle, speed up your Rammus if he's actually with the team at that time. Otherwise, he's going to home guard TP anyway, and you just have loads of mobility.
Now, regardless of the fact that Peke is playing, earlier in the split, OG's bigger strength was their mid to late game team fights. They seem to struggle elsewhere, so ROCCAT maybe want to try and initiate early. And remember, second game on stage, Peke very, very honest on his own Facebook page about the limited experience and practice he had.
One scrim.
Yes, but it was a very last minute thing, you know. They have this two-man mid roster, but Peke interestingly said yesterday in the interview that looking at playoffs, if he can lift his level, maybe they'll bring it in there. So it is the Sivir, it is the Lissandra. Team fights, there's some pick power, there's some poke, there's some wave clear, a little bit of everything from ROCCAT. Maybe no real answer to the Fiora if Soaz gets ahead. What are you humming?
I mean, the Kassadin hover, we don't normally like to talk about the hovers, but in a game like this, where Origen is very clearly aiming to split push with at least one player, and that is Soaz in this case, you can go for full 1-3-1 and put Lucian mid lane as the wave clear in the mid game. Obviously, ROCCAT is aiming then to very quickly come in and punish that caster in the mid lane and try and push in his tower, but that's very difficult when you're against even lanes. Because you gotta like win that bot lane matchup with Sivir, take tower, and then rotate mid. So I think actually it could have worked, but instead, Pekka is boring.
I probably should have said this at the beginning of the discussion. In the pre-game lobby, ROCCAT was saying, why doesn't Freddy play Aatrox and Pekka play Kassadin? To go back to the old days when it was SK Fnatic and they were the players competing.
Aatrox is a sleeper OP pick.
Sleeper OP?
In the top lane with Titanic Hydra.
Okay, heard it here first.
So try it out in solo queue and don't blame me when you lose 10 games in a row. But
the 11th game onwards, you'll win.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta master the champion first.
All right, master champion, master yourself. LeBlanc picked in. Split push, pick power. OG not really kitted out for big team fights.
Definitely not.
Skirmishes, they'll do exceptionally well.
Yeah, I mean, there's two different comps with what they've been building. We talked about the Sivir coming in with Rammus. When you're saying, oh, you're going to split push with Fiora, fine. We draft a team fighting comp with loads of engage. Lissandra engage, Sivir speed up, TP from Rammus. There's a lot of ways for ROCCAT to force team fights here. Obviously, as you said, Origen are aiming to play the 1-3-1 game. Get Zven in the mid lane as fast as possible, but then you get that fantastic AD carry duel where it's all about who can push the minions fast.
Sivir should have an advantage in that one.
Yeah, boomerang through it and one ricochet and the wave is gone.
Yeah, should work out.
But then you go static shift on Lucian and you say, aha! Q, static shift, and then you match it.
All right, I'm going to see if I can get you to do that sound effect again once we see static shift picked up. But you guys at home, for one last time in Week 8 here in the European LCS, will ROCCAT follow Element's lead and pull off an upset against a top 6 team? That top 6 team is Origen. Didn't know it was coming back to us. This is hashtag OG win. If you guys think they're going to pick that one up. The camera's panning. You can see the flags side by side as Origen and ROCCAT go onto the rift, but they could not be further apart as Origen are locked into the playoffs, the top 6, and are competing for seeding.
And Pekka in that mid lane feeling a little bit ballsy as well with this LeBlanc pick. Often, teams like to take Lissandra into it. Very easy to lock her down when she distortions on you with W, and then you can even ult you after. Obviously, that's why Pekka is running Cleanse. Does give a global advantage for Betsy, so as long as he doesn't get bullied in the laning phase, he will have a very easy way of sitting in a side lane and kind of matching Pekka. And then, of course, for ROCCAT's side, you then TP towards the mid lane or the opposite lane of where LeBlanc is, and you make that big 5-on-4 play later on. But it requires coordination, something ROCCAT has been lacking in. And also they've been struggling lately in the early game, which is kind of weird because starting off the split, they were really good in the late game. Kind of been falling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good in the early game.
Sorry, did I say good in the late game?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I'm trying to confuse everyone here. It's a plan, and then I'll be like, pause. ROCCAT has been very good in the early game at the start of the split.
Right.
They've been struggling lately.
Right. Stop. Pause, engage, as Mithy and Zven are...
We saw this play last game, by the way.
Yep, putting on their Forgiven and Vanda impersonation. It actually put H2K slightly behind the tempo, but...
Exactly the same is going to happen, because ROCCAT has no wards to see them. They're not invading as fast. Look at topside, look at your minimap.
Yeah, but I wonder if there's going to be a kill secured. Freddy's going low. Oh, but the stun onto Airwaks. Exhaust comes out, followed by a flash. Mithy and Zven, they flashed for it, and they've got it! Better than H2K confirmed.
This must have happened a lot in scrims for these teams, seeing as we now saw 2 teams do the same thing, exactly the same move.
Wonder who was scrimming each other.
I wonder, yeah. Definitely a good possibility, but ROCCAT getting surprised, no wards to see it. They start on that red buff, and again, they were invading so late because right now Amazing and Soaz already took a buff. Gonna take Raptor Camp, first blood for Origen. They're getting everything on this invade.
All right, now let's see how Origen make it work, because there's even a roam to middle. Here comes Soaz. Betsy, here on the blind side. Chains will connect, lock him down. 300 HP, a flash forward. 110 HP, Pekka. No ignite and no chase. Soaz had flashed for that one.
I think Soaz maybe was like, oh, where's your summoner? Oh, it's Cleanse. And then you didn't get the kill, because committing there was the correct play if you had ignite in this case. Still, they get a flash. Blown from Betsy. Airwaks no flash, he had to use it before when he gave up first blood, and then we're just in this lane swap now where you already built an almost 1,000 gold advantage for Origen before we even killed any towers.
Yeah, but Origen have killed the champion. That's way cooler in my book.
Oh, something's gonna happen here. Look, they're recalling. They're not gonna opt into play this standard swap here. They're going to send Zven and Mithy to top side, but they're going to lose the tower for it no matter what.
Okay, so advantage ROCCAT there when it comes to objectives. They've defended their bottom turret while simultaneously almost securing top. Although,
oh, not even going to get it.
Right, so both teams have opted into not killing the towers in a lane swap.
Yeah, the reason Tabzz and Noxiak are recalling here is because they know if they push in this wave and try and take down tower, first of all, there's a chance they might not get it down in time. Second, once you killed it, you're still sitting on just a Doran's Blade, where the enemy's coming with a second item, the call in this case for Zven. So you don't want to put yourself in that disadvantage where you have to recall with the enemy already in the lane, because they can then push it back into your tower and deny a lot of farm. But very interesting, because Origen spent so much time chasing for that first blood, they were later on that push in the bottom lane and said, you know what? We might be able to make it top in time, and we just kind of abandon the lane swap. Difference. Zven is saying, I'm going to go call second item. Tabzz saying, oh, we're going to 2v2. Doran's Blade instead. So small advantage for Tabzz right now.
Right now. And in a little bit, in theory, an advantage to Zven. We'll see how the itemization works out. Already got a CS advantage and actually has first blood. So that's going to play into Zven's favor. Big minion wave. Pushing into Noxiak and Tabzz.
And
what do you think of this
wave.
2v2 now?
This is the wave they would have lost if they tried to commit for that tower. Without even being 100% secure, they could actually take down the tower.
Right, party in the mid lane once again. No flash for Betsy. Does get locked down. Javelin toss will not find Peke. Amazing's looking for a kill. Repels up and goes to a minion line. Peke forced to flash away. Has cleanse available. Is just going to get auto attacked down. And that went horribly wrong.
So Peke goes in, tries to land the chain, sees the spear from Airwaks. That's why he jumps back to his original distortion place. And Amazing is then hard committing on Betsy at the exact same time, not realizing that Airwaks is showing up, and therefore great counter gang from ROCCAT. Getting a kill and evens up the gold basically here in the early game. And we now get these standard lanes with a lot of action, 2v2 on top side. Really like that counter gang from Airwaks, and he's getting more.
He definitely is. Airwaks looking to fight. Trap connects as well. Amazing's got no support from anybody yet. Soaz making his way up the river, but I think Airwaks will be able to just pounce away without any real threat. And advantage to Airwaks on that Nidalee. So he has a replay of that mid-engage.
Notice Peke goes in, he sees the spear then from Airwaks, and that's why he jumps back, but he actually hit Amazing right in the face. So had Peke stayed and said, okay, my jungler is going to take this one, they would probably have been able to pick up a kill, or at least have not died. Airwaks, yeah.
What goes up must come down. And you see those little legs skittering as Airwaks picks up another easy kill.
Nidalee open. She will get picked. Every single game she's open. She gets so much early control, especially when she has a standard lane setup after the first swap, basically. And straight in the face of the Elise. Still that play mid lane, man. Peke probably didn't realize Amazing was going to flash forward.
Yeah.
So it could have been again some quick calling, quick synergy that's not there because they haven't played together for so many weeks.
Now, hang on. Let's be also very fair. That's not the first time we've seen that exact type of play out of Amazing plus X. Amazing plus PoE, Amazing plus Soaz. All split long. Origen have given up kills in the 2v2 scenarios when maybe they should not.
That's fair. It's been a big talking point. Yeah. You know, PowerOfEvil not having synergy with the rest of the team, and now Peke is showing it a little bit in the same trade.
All right, both mid laners with a defensive route. Double Dorans into Null Magic Mantle for Peke. Single Dorans into the Negatron Cloak. Betsy wants to be Batman first.
And this is definitely going to snowball a little bit more in favor of Betsy, because he's going to get Abyssal Scepter first. And it's so huge when the other guys are sitting on the components. Getting that passive coming in is just so important. And it's such a great first item against LeBlanc.
Look at the vision. That's mirrored on both sides. OG's got a little bit of wards inside the left quadrant of ROCCAT's jungle. Airwaks once again going to invade. He stole away Wolf Camp earlier and then actually lingered long enough to kill Amazing. So I'm going to steal the Grom. You know, Peke's poking Betsy. Every time we look, Peke's trying to get some trades, but it's not resulting in any form of control. And it's basically even CS everywhere with the exception of Zven, who's got a minor lead.
And the only tricky thing for Pekka is fully committing to the engage, where you gotta land distortion into almost the killer range. We've seen this before.
This is not a replay. This is not a replay. Amazing is going to repel up shortly. The trap gets connected. Actually, Amazing is winning this time round. Airwaks gets the heal done. Repel up, looks forward. Javelin connects, and Amazing wins the fight.
Very short range spear here from Airwaks, not getting enough damage. And then Amazing just turning around. Definitely want to rewatch that little engagement. Exactly the same play that happened basically 2 minutes ago. This time around, Amazing wins it. Super important for Origen on a lot of small fights between junglers.
Especially for Amazing's confidence. Give up that kill so early on after actually being bullied out of the jungle and then sticking around, so it's definitely going to help out. We're still seeing this top lane continue to farm out. This double Doran's not really doing a whole lot for Tabzz. Down about 13 CS. Cull is 30-odd CS away from completing. And I can catch a glimpse. Tremors has been used by Freddy, so just trying to shove the wave out, try to deal with some of the pressure that Soaz is putting down.
But again, that 1v1, just Airwaks getting a short-range spear, using his entire combo, and then instead of actually trying to disengage from the fight and wait for another spear to come in, or another full combo from him, he stays and starts melee attacking against Elise with a Spiderlings and a W being procced.
Yeah.
Then you lose out on the 1v1. I think Amazing at red buff as well in that trade. So,
few
super
small
important.
things. Yep.
Some very small things, obviously. That was a longer range.
This early game has been defined by how many times Airwaks and Amazing can fight. Betsy will use the Claw of Doom, short range. That makes it out of chain ability from Pekka.
Pekka changing up his build a little bit. Getting, of course, the Negatron Cloak. Not sure if he only had 800 gold then. Got a Codex as well, so he's obviously going to go Morel Normicon as his second item. Because you want that cooldown reduction, you don't have to go Outlast in this game because there's no Z like we saw in the last one. But again, it delays his first item quite a lot. What he's doing, where straight Abyssal from Betsy. Just straight up, get the Abyssal Scepter, get that early power spike. And it's where you can start putting Lissandra in side lane. You want to get Abyssal, then you put in side lane with Teleport, and you get so much map control. Because Rammus is still going to go even against his
I think he's going to do more than even.
Well, he has a jungler to help.
Defensive flash away from Soaz. Soaz is looking to proc some vitals and get HP, but it won't be enough. Reply dive up top. Tabzz unable to spell shield anything. Glacial Fissure comes out. Amazing continues to engage, is exhausted. Repels up and tries to escape. Betsy's teleported in front twice, and the taunt pulls Amazing back.
Mechanics!
Summon a heal, keeps him alive for a few seconds before dropping, and ROCCAT get 2 kills for 0.
So everything goes wrong here for Origen because Soaz dies in the bottom lane to that gank. They didn't expect the gank to happen. They were setting up that play on top side with the LeBlanc roaming and diving, but Freddy could TP up and join. Another fight though.
Let's take a look. Who is the target? Betsy will not. Oh, he does get chained. Pekka is looking to chase. Soaz is splitting off on Tabzz. Riposte. Just for the slow, it looked like Mithy applies the boot, the chair, the stun. Not going to connect just yet. One more auto is needed. Soaz is tanking up, gets a sustain from a vital. Origen take a lot of damage and they're forced away. Maybe they'll get some time on this tower.
Again, the Origen just committing to that dive. Not realizing at the moment that Soaz has just gone down, so Freddy's open to TP in and turn it around. So more kills for ROCCAT here in the early game. Dead even in gold now. Tower though for Origen, so they do gain something.
First of the game as well.
First of the game. Airwaks didn't actually push the bottom tower. He just decided to walk into jungle. Couldn't have taken it down anyway, because he just poked it. So, bot lane here, Soaz dies just as this play is happening. Origen has already made the call. We're gonna dive 4-man top with Elise and everything. But now TP coming in from Betsy and from Freddy at the same time, running this double teleport setup. Freddy was never supposed to join on his own. Soaz was supposed to be able to follow. But of course he went down to that gank, but they also know the jungler is on bottom side. So at this point here, ROCCAT technically doesn't want to get greedy. Because that's why they now give Origen a chance to get a re-engage, force them off the tower, burn a few flashes, and take that tower. ROCCAT could have been happy just getting that kill, and said, you know what, that was it. Because Airwaks, as you can see on the bottom side, just hitting the tower a little bit.
Well, some credit then to ROCCAT. They find a skirmish in the bottom lane, something that OG's comp was meant to do or look for. And then they find a big team fight as well. But both teleports were expended. Abyssal Scepter and Senpai Cape completed. Thanks to the kills And no major items yet for the solo laners of Origen. So still looking for that first complete big spike.
Yeah, now it does of course slow down what ROCCAT wanted to do to maximize farm and map pressure by putting Betsy in side lane without the TP. It does delay it a little bit here for Origen, so they get time to complete that first item and then they can start picking people off. When you have Elise and Braum, it's very easy to single out a target and then the AoE damage or the burst damage from the LeBlanc coming. Pekka taking a spear to his face.
Yeah, definitely not the mechanics we're used to. Pounds forward, Mimic is procced, and Airwaks just takes one single turret shot for his troubles.
I always like the way Airwaks plays when he's on early game junglers, and ROCCAT is at least even in the early game. Yes, okay, there might be a few mistakes here and there, but he's just so aggressive constantly. He just leaves his own jungle and he just plays in the enemy jungle, plays on lanes, you know, get in, get a bit of damage on towers and back away, constantly just apply pressure over and over. And the best games we've seen from him is in games like these.
That's the truth. I distinctly remember the opening weeks of the split showing up. But hasn't been able to find that consistent performance. That's been the biggest problem, is that ROCCAT have had moments or flashes of brilliance that simply don't last. Airwaks takes a lot of damage from Pekka, but Pekka still with his thrift shopping build, if you will. Looking to scale up, even on gold at 15 minutes. ROCCAT have got the kill advantage, and it feels like ROCCAT currently have the map pressure advantage, thanks in large part because of Airwaks.
There's an opening now, though, where the TPs are gone. Origen can make a play on bot side, and that's why we see Amazing come down, just to basically force them off. They're not looking for kills, they just want to push them off tower to take it very safe. TPs are coming back from ROCCAT, though. Side lanes are getting longer and longer. This is where you need to have these wards placed in lane behind, where so you need to predict, okay, where's the enemy team gonna push for the enemy for our tier 2 tower? Okay, that's why we place a ward behind them in our own jungle or behind them in the lane, so we have a TP location, because Rammus TP and Lissandra TP should always start a fight and get a kill or two. Like, there should never be a situation where you TP in and those two guys cannot engage together and get onto a key target. And before it's going to happen later, yeah. But it should happen.
it should. I'm wondering as well how quickly Zven's going to get to his QSS. Let's remove some of that threat. He picked up Essence Reaver and Zeal. Abyssal Scepter now completed for Pekka, Aegis, Titanic Hydra. So both teams now, as we've hit 15 minutes, are farmed up, and we could look for hopefully some more action.
Well, as we talked about like 5 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago, TP's on cooldown, buys time for Origen to now complete this one item, and then this is the exact setup we mentioned. Put LeBlanc on side lane, put Zven in mid lane, and put, of course, Soaz in the other side lane, and you have your 1-3-1. But it's going to be matched by double TP, and now it's just looking for more ganks. Missing Spear, though.
Yeah, Javelin Toss won't find anybody. Soaz doesn't even need the teleport, and the Rift Herald buff. Just a minor inconvenience as far as Soaz is concerned, but he doesn't give up a kill. Still staying even on CS with Freddy. Freddy's building up a whole lot of armor.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Sunfire Thornmail.
That's what I was trying to get to, but I kind of just like stopped myself halfway. Here's the pressure. So Zven was able to push away Betsy. Tabzz and Noxiak are going to get a lot of damage on this tower, if not secure it, as this next minion wave comes in, especially with Airwaks coming to help out. 1 or 2 more waves should secure it.
Well, Origen has to make a play where they mirror this here. So either you commit from mid lane with 3 men and you force Lissandra away and you take that tower, or you already would have gone down bottom lane now to push him off tower. Just by roaming from mid, you kind of force them to play passive. They are committing with the poor spiderling, sacrificing every single one. Not getting tower down. Betsy is in base, has to return, but it's so fun to watch now when you don't have TP. Oh, let's see what happens mid.
Well, there's a cleanse available. Pekka's gonna dash, double dash, flash from Airwaks, auto attack, goes all the way! Pekka dodges everything, but not the final auto. Takes everybody from ROCCAT on a do-si-do. They're gonna trade towers shortly, actually, but ROCCAT are way behind. Betsy's trying to defend versus 3. Glacial Fisher knocks Betsy up in the air, but he doesn't go down. Throws up the eye shot, a flash forward from Freddy. Repel up to the Wolf. Soaz will be waiting in the wings, and it looks like Amazing has got away. ROCCAT do take the tower down bottom.
Again, so many small things happening. ROCCAT investing everything on bottom side. Betsy not using TP back in lane to defend mid because there were 3 guys standing there with CC, Braum, and Elise, so they had to give up mid tower, gain that 1 kill though on Pekka, will, of course, get a tower mid because it's been low for quite a while. And Origen are losing towers, but also gaining a few towers. Like, both teams are just trading. You can see in your minimap, 3-man committing mid, 3-man committing bot lane for ROCCAT. Pekka then getting a bit surprised that Airwaks is coming from behind, and then a lot of juking going on here.
The auto attack that Airwaks throws sideways.
I mean, it kind of disappeared even, but
both of our heads just flung to the right of the screen. We're like, what? Wait, what?
Still though, because ROCCAT were able to get a lot of damage on mid tower, they can now trade it completely even and stay ahead and goal with more kills. Remember Airwaks, how he was jumping around enemy jungle into mid lane, getting a few hits on tower, went back into the enemy jungle. He kept doing it over and over. Slowly, you just grind the tower down. Very fun mid game we're having here with these teams. Both teams want to 1-3-1. Both teams kind of wants to, mirror on these tower trades. Funny thing for Origen though, because they don't have this double TP, they always have to be the ones pushing the lanes first to make it work. Because if you ever get to that point where Peck is pushed back on the bottom side, ROCCAT will just force a play on the opposite side and TP in with Betsy, and Peck is forced in a situation where he can't do anything. Because he can't push a tower and he can't join the team fight. So Origen always has to commit to lanes first and meet the lanes very early. You gotta meet the minion waves before they get to river and clear them out. So you push ROCCAT back on the map, and it makes it very difficult for them to make TP plays. And that's where we gotta see if Pekka can still split push. Back in the days.
Find out.
He can also
fails the distortion,
wall.
will do the mimic, a pounce over from Airwaks. Airwaks eats a chair from Mithy, and as we get closer to 20 minutes, Deficio, right at the beginning of the game, we talked about how Origen will maybe gifted a victory against UOL. UOL taken down by elements. Origen's level is
debatable.
Questionable. Questionable is the word that I'm going to use.
Okay.
Because
I mean, that's very fair to say.
Yeah, the performances are showing. Static Shift was picked up by Zven, so I'm waiting for that sound effect you didn't pick some bands.
I forgot the sound effect.
I know. I saw it was something, I don't know, you're going to have to try
I completely forgot what it was.
We're looking for a Piercing Light. Let's see it. Piercing Light and Static Shift proc.
Oh, already happened.
It did happen. Okay,
but
all right.
Again, it's the reason you go Static Shift is again because, as I said before, you need to be first on the minion waves and push them in instantly. So ROCCAT is always forced to defend, and you can then actually get into the enemy jungle, and you can kind of play against the TPs. You can attack the TP side lanes.
Yeah.
You never want to just attack mid lane, because then TPs are going to happen behind you. And that's why Static Shift is so good for him. Even though it is kind of annoying for him, because you want rapid fire cannon versus Rammus normally. But
yeah, for that range. And of course, I think it has to be fair that Origen are playing without PowerOfEvil, the guy that they have played with for 8 weeks, including...
Wait, it was supposed to be the other way around.
I know. They are playing with Pekka now, who is no practice, no scrim, so it is obviously going to have an impact on the team.
This game, though, does also tell us a lot about Unicorns of Love current level. Like, the current power ranking, where the Unicorns are losing 2 elements.
And to Origen with the sub.
Yeah, again, should have won the game yesterday, but then ended up losing it anyway, and made a lot of mistakes. So they are looking, together with Origen, like the 2 weakest of the top 6 teams.
Yeah, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And Origen playing defensive, 1 teleport shy. Soaz going to be powerball down. There is a flash available.
And now look at the map here. Origen are forced so far back with expected that he's not going to have an impact on the map. And ROCCAT can start making plays against Soaz, because worst case you can always TP in with Betsy, and there's nothing Pekka can do in return. He can't take a tower. That's why Airwaks can play topside as well. Secure blue buff, but also say to Soaz, if you're pushing any further now, I'm just going to go gank you, and your team can't help. So ROCCAT is in a very good situation when it comes to map control. And this 1-3-1 with the LeBlanc and no double TP is losing a lot of value, because you can't make plays when only one guy can push forward, and you can just get ganked.
So how do Origen make plays then? How do Origen get back in this game? You've touched on the fact they have to push the waves. You've touched on the fact they have to play the map. Is it then Deep Vision and Baron, which has been available for a few minutes?
A little bit too early for the Baron, but obviously, yeah, you want to set up, just have that pink on the Baron so you always can threaten it potentially with the enemy team not having vision. But there's 3 blue trinkets, so it's very hard to do now. I think the thing for Origen is that you commit to one side at first with your jungle support, and you say, this is the side we push out now. Seeing as Soaz can push out on his own, obviously that's not the side you commit to. You help Pekka push it out. You show on bottom side, you tell Betsy, back away. That's exactly what they're doing now with Mithy and Zven. They're showing bottom side to force them away, allowing Pekka then to potentially push his wave earlier and try and get it at least across the river. But it's so difficult to do. It's so much easier to say it, but actually doing it when you're against so much engaged. This is why the Sivir pick also was so good for ROCCAT. It's so hard because if you commit 4-man bot lane, there's a chance your top laner dies. There's a chance ROCCAT just hard commits to mid lane, or they follow you. And you have a team fight down this bottom side with now 2-item Lissandra. And you can see Freddy on top side. He can trade with Soaz easily.
Yeah, really, really easily. QSS is secured as well. That Tremors is on a 1-minute cooldown, so you can just throw that out. Airwaks was forced to flash because of the fact that Mithy had thrown down the Glacial Fissure. But the 4-5 minutes of pressure on the bottom lane is secured an inner turret, uncontested. The only cost was that flash from Airwaks when he was slightly out of position, but the map control belongs to ROCCAT.
It's the same thing again. A lot to like about this ROCCAT pick and ban phase with a TP mid lane against LeBlanc as well.
So learning from the mistakes of yesterday.
I mean, definitely. I think they looked back to the game yesterday and were like, did we really have to pick Quinn first rotation? Was it that important? Obviously not.
Oopsie.
I made a bit of an oopsie. It happens, but it's the things we see less and less now that coaches are getting better and better, and they should have these pick and ban phases like what a coach will do. In almost every situation, he puts up like 10 different scenarios. It's like if we ban these picks, if we ban these champions and they ban these 3, what did we first pick? What did they get? And you just like you do these mock drafts over and over and over. So many of them. 10 is not even enough. You can put 10 down on the paper, but you do maybe 50.
10 of what you maybe expect.
Yeah,
and then there's so many other options.
You go into the game. That's why they have these big ass notebooks here. It's not just to show off. You know, they have a lot of text in them, and you just kind of go down every single scenario.
But not everything you write down is golden, Deficio. That is a fact.
I have 3 notebooks, and I put in notes, you know, different times in every single one of them, and then I forget where I put it.
Yep.
I just found one now with notes from Worlds. I'm like, why am I standing with this?
That's phenomenally uswill 6 months down the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I have it here, but...
Well, Deficio, Dragon number 2 was picked up by ROCCAT, so this split push power will become a little bit more enabled, damage over time. Allow them to knock over the turrets, and ROCCAT have been playing the map well, but Origen are playing a little more positive, a little more aggressive, pushing out the waves, getting some wards down.
Again, it's for Origen about push mid fast, move to the lane where Peck is so he can push out his lane by forcing Betsy back. And then you go into the enemy jungle, exactly where you just moved your AD carry, or sorry, your jungle and support. So the jungle basically between the 2 lanes. But now we might get a TP play mid.
Let's take a look.
Very forced.
Floor comes in. Mithy throws out the Glacial Fissure.
No.
The Javelin toss is broken by Unbreakable. Origen sense there's a chance. The giant cone comes down from Noxiak, but he has no power here. Soaz continues to push down bottom against Freddy and Origen. They thwart the TP engage. Freddy and Soaz.
Oh, Airwaks is coming down.
Very exciting bout. Flash is available for Soaz. Javelin toss connects from that one. Grand challenge comes up. Soaz gets 1 proc. Airwaks realizes he's in trouble. Flash was too late, and Soaz goes down. Oh, he riposts for a few seconds. 1 or 2 more autos, but the Baron is being pulled. I don't think Origen are tanky enough or have enough damage just yet. And they are forced to back away. So Soaz goes down at the cost of defending the mid lane engage.
Again, another situation with a lot of small plays from each team. ROCCAT, in my opinion, never have to engage mid here with TP. You're winning the split push war. Keep pushing in these side lanes then, and wait for Origen to overextend. They were standing in a pretty safe spot, and they just ran back, and Betsy couldn't get onto anyone. But also for Soaz, as soon as that fight happens, Soaz needs to just back away from the bottom side, because if he stays, no one can help him, and it's too early to rush a Baron with 4 members for Origen. This is a classic Soaz mistake we've seen so often this split. He's staying too far up when his team can't get anything on the map, and then he gets ganked, and he's like, team? And they're like, Soaz? And he then ends up dying for nothing, basically.
That will give the 6th kill of the game over to ROCCAT. This is a replay of the engagement. Look at the minimap.
Yeah, I mean...
Origen panicking towards the Baron.
It's too early for Origen to go Baron, and it's still 3 members alive from ROCCAT on this top side, because no one died from the previous fight. So Soaz is just putting his team in a situation where they can't really make a good play. They can't follow, and they can't punish. So they will just lose Soaz no matter what. Almost managed to flash away, though, with
Yeah, I felt like it was
quick
just
flash, but then he got pulled in by the taunt. Like
half second too late.
Super small mechanic there. Taunt coming in just when he flashed.
Timing window so tough. Piercing light comes out from Zven. I think that didn't even connect with Noxiak, who is level 11. Got that locket completed. Amazing's built one of his own. Aegis for Mithy at the time being. QSS picked up for Zven. I think that's a big deal when you consider the threat of the taunt, the threat of the tomb from Betsy.
Betsy's just going to go into fights and ulti himself. He's just going to reach the back line. And the thing about Rammus as well, his taunt is super strong, but just the AoE damage he's dealing when he's walking around you, Sunfire, ulti, Thornmill if you ever hit him. So just by him actually being in your face is enough to be a threat, and that's why you have to deal with him. That's why teams struggle to just run past him, especially on an AD carry like Lucian with his low range. So it becomes fairly tricky.
Damage pings. Peke forced to cleanse. Hourglass not used. The trade may continue. Mithy and Amazing now will spot Airwaks. Winter's Bite comes down and a pillar of ice comes up from Noxiak. Peke gets a good chunk of damage, but they just trade basically ultimates, and actually Peke's the one that used the summoner spell.
Yeah, still in favor of Betsy because he's the man pushing the lane. You see again how early Zven is reaching the minion wave here. He's moving past the river to kill it as fast as possible to open up for a potential play. Because then now suddenly you can roam from mid lane, you can fight. Again though, it's difficult because Peke is being chunky, he has no mana. So he's losing this 1v1 again and again and again. And that's why Betsy has so much more impact in this game.
There is a teleport available from Soaz. No wards very deep though, and the vision from ROCCAT is currently all over the river, but it's not particularly deep into Origen's territory. No. So that's, I think, why we're feeling a lot of the slowdown. The vision, the safety is not deep enough to allow either team to push.
ROCCAT forced a play they shouldn't have. They put the TP on cooldown. That basically means ROCCAT has slowed down for the next few minutes, because for them it's all about pushing up together and then using that TP on the opposite side of the map if you want to force something. Or you go down and gank Soaz, and you know you can always send even a third member if needed. But yeah, game has slowed down. I want to see distortion in chance for both Freddy and Betsy, because this TP is so important in this game.
Yeah, especially with the wanna go fast Dead Man's Plate.
I mean, we're going extra speed here.
I can't wait.
And you know that LeBlanc is not really looking to burst the Rammus, so just stack full armor. Like, Zven is going to struggle so much when it comes to dealing damage in these late game fights. And that's where, again, ROCCAT is in a very good position. Sivir is definitely stronger now in the late game fights compared to what she was before with that crit from her W now.
Yeah.
And overall, I think ROCCAT is still in a good position.
Another ping of damage. Betsy's actually lost more than Peke in that particular trade. I think a fair amount of respect being given what Peke can throw out, and the fact that there was support coming up top. Try and undermine that value. Dragon number 3, secured by ROCCAT, uncontested. So this will go 12 minutes away from Aspect. If ROCCAT want to play to that. Baron is also a possibility. We're late enough, tanky enough damage, really, for both squads.
Yeah, I mean,
not enough vision.
We're at the point, again, the longer death timers and everything, towers are being fairly weak, where one big team fight can basically lose you the game. You might not lose your Nexus, but you will lose 2 inhibs potentially, or the Baron and an inhib, and then suddenly you're too far behind to do anything. When it's 1-3-1 comps against each other, it snowballs very quickly out of control. But Origen also, again, it's a simple thing. You keep Soaz on the bottom side, because if you send Peke down on bottom side, Baron is a play for ROCCAT all of a sudden. And that's, again, why everything is slowed down. There might be a commitment in mid here. Now Betsy can actually TP in if he wants to commit for this fight. Because now Origen is overextending. Look at Zven in mid. Betsy, where's the TP?
Soaz is keeping Freddy busy. Expect is backed away from Betsy. Airwaks jumps onto Mithy. The Fisher comes out before Betsy can even arrive.
There it is.
It's almost a kill. Teleport coming down. Tabzz has dropped Mithy. The Claw of Doom jumps across, and Betsy unable to find a follow-up target. Amazing, unable to find the cocoon either. Big burst of damage. Peke is locked down. No cleanse. Oh, it is available, but they have just come up. It's a kill to Betsy. 2 very easy kills for ROCCAT.
Again, I know the game has been slowing down, but this has been the play we were waiting for. It's why the first TP were not that great for ROCCAT. This time around, Origen were overextending mid. The reason Betsy didn't instant teleport was he was missing a ward in the mid lane itself to go to. They had to take a ward really far back. It did join in the end. Peg obviously rogue down. One fight. Baron is on here. Culling going nuts though from Zven.
3,000 hit points, 1,000 hit points, trying to get in, secured by ROCCAT. Now Amazing's in trouble. Zven's trying to get away. Freddy will cancel the teleport, or it was ended by Soaz. At least one kill. Soaz gets taunted under the tower, continues to trade back and forth, but ROCCAT string together 3 kills and Baron at the cost of only Betsy's life.
And it's what we liked about this double TP with Lissandra in mid lane against LeBlanc to stay even in lane, rush Abyssal Scepter, and just control her in side lane, just constant push wave over and over. Origen getting a little bit desperate. They're like, we need to do something here. Like, we're just losing the map. And they start rushing down mid. Instant. Obviously, ROCCAT is reacting, TP in, even though it was very late. So here, if there was a ward in this mid lane, Betsy would have TP'd in already by now. But there's no proper ward. You can see he's pinging really far back. Luckily, ROCCAT is winning on its own because Zven right now was at the tower. And the 2 other members from Origen were in the mid lane. So just super uncoordinated. Origen, and here Peke is trying to burst down Airwaks. Flashed on by Betsy. Super good flash from him. No cleanse used because everything was on cooldown for Peke anyway, so there was nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then Baron picked up. I mean, this is just textbook 1-3-1 with double TP from ROCCAT. And Origen getting desperate, out of position. Late game shot calling kind of falling apart.
Well, we've got this really interesting scenario where Origen are already 6th when it comes to seeding. A loss here put them 2 games away. Unicorns of Love and Fnatic almost guaranteeing them a 6th place seed going into playoffs. Talk about that in a moment as Soaz takes way too many turret shots, finds a vital from Freddy, gets a little bit of HP back as Origen, they have to defend, they have to wave clear against a Sivir and an Airwaks on Nidalee.
An Airwaks.
Yes, an Airwaks.
The greatest sieging tower.
He definitely is.
Oh, Mithy went down in the end.
5-2-5, Mithy was killed, I didn't even see how.
5 to an Airwaks maybe?
5,000 gold more than Origen already. That's the Baron power play numbers you're seeing on the left. 1 minute left, but they've got the inhib, broken open the base, and very soon they'll be able to pick up Dragon number 4 as well.
Soaz will get a bot lane tower. So, you know, congratulations, you were part of the game.
Yeah.
Here's a tower. Still though, for Origen, they're sitting there as number 6 now, you know. Yes, you are part of the cool kids club, but that's the spot you don't want because you're facing Vitality, HCK, or D2 in that quarterfinal. And this tower is going down as well.
It really is.
It's not going down.
ROCCAT are getting close to
almost
closing out a game and picking up the 2nd upset of the day. Baron power play will wear out shortly. Plus 4,000 gold more than Origen in the time frame.
And inhib as well.
And the inhib. Teleport's not available for Freddy and Betsy, so there'll be a small reprieve for Origen. And it'll just be up to ROCCAT to decide how they want to close this out. Very good power play as the final Baron counter has worn off.
And Freddy is basically unkillable. GA as well. I mean, this is nuts. 434 armor without using W, which is, of course, is another 120. The more armor you get, the less value it will have, but still looks pretty badass. And he can even take down the Rift Scuttler. Taking down his brother.
Yes. Damn it, I always get the Scuttler and the Herald confused. You know that?
There's pretty big difference.
I know, but I just, the word. I don't know, my brain just keeps getting the word backwards.
I don't know.
I know, losing it.
You're getting old.
Oh,
are you the oldest member now?
That is the truth. Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're getting old.
By a fair margin, in fact. You youngins. ROCCAT have got 8,000 gold lead. Super's in the mid lane. Look at Betsy down bottom. Teleport is available. Freddy has his up as well. So as long as he's dancing with Soaz, going to be the ability to peel away and try to impact. Now, Origen couldn't even defend their own tower. Too busy trying to zone away Airwaks.
In him. Next target for ROCCAT. Everything is looking awesome here.
Yep.
Engage though.
Finds Betsy. Betsy will use the Hourglass. Still has access to the tomb. Should be able to self-cast if he needs the HP. Claw goes out. Zven and Peke trying to chase away. Defensive flash from Betsy, and it looks like Soaz was able to chase away Freddy. The game's not over yet, Deficio. Soaz has taken down the inhibitor turret on the top lane from ROCCAT. And Soaz is now going to face off against Freddy. The rest of Origen defends, but they've lost the inhib. Teleport comes out of Betsy, and Soaz's pressure is stopped. Defensive flash from Soaz. The rest of ROCCAT peel away, but ROCCAT got the objective. They've cracked open the base on another front.
Yeah, they get in here, but again, we're hitting the point where the Fiora will destroy Rammus. Black Cleaver's in there, BT shield, so extra life steal. You can out-sustain him. He can't really take you down anymore. So Soaz will be a threat, and he's basically the way for Origen to win this game. But he relies on ROCCAT making a massive mistake, because it's going to take such a long time for Soaz to push through the Rammus and the base compared to what the 4 members of ROCCAT can do.
Crucially, though, for Origen, Betsy teleported. So there is a few minutes where if Soaz can try to deal with these supers in one lane,
yeah, but that's the problem, right?
Hold Freddy.
Because now there are super minions to kind of do the split pushing job. All ROCCAT needs to do now is have a ping or 2 around the Baron. Only have 1 because they're all trying to finish the 6th item here, so only have a single ping, but you can still play around Baron in 1 minute's time. For now though, focus on this top tower. TP coming from Freddy. He's sitting in mid. Soaz is trying to base race them a little bit. I'm not sure why I'm doing air quotes here because you guys can't see it. But he's trying to at least force someone back down to defend. And I think ROCCAT will struggle to get down this tower.
All right, want to go fast. Freddy's teleported back, has access to home guards. Good chunk of damage onto Tabzz.
Now ROCCAT should just play around Baron now at this point and just take that fight where you have the vision control and you can TP in behind them with Freddy.
See if they decide to.
Oh,
30 seconds before
risky.
Baron's up. ROCCAT are not agreeing with the Baron play yet. Oh, dash forward from Peke.
That's
The
why.
Pillar of Ice comes up. 20 seconds away on the hunt from Tabzz. The claw comes up from Betsy. He's looking for a target, unable to find one before he self-cast. Amazing was able to repel up. The tower is still standing. Soaz and Freddy are still trading down bottom. Nobody's been able to teleport. The tower's been killed, and so has Betsy. Origen will not go down without a fight.
I think that is again too risky by ROCCAT here. You had super minions, you could wait for Baron to spawn in Origen. Could only defend 1 lane with the TP member. Soaz in the bottom lane here. Instead, 50 seconds on Betsy, no TP. Origen might have a chance to try and counter Baron play here. Get out of base, push out mid lane is what Zven is doing now, so you get super minions really far back. Don't worry about bottom lane because Soaz is already there. And just start that Baron.
Let's see if Origen do. They're still down 7,000 gold. Amazing. Connects the Cocoon onto Tabzz. He's already used the Mercurial Scimitar. Defensively running away. That's a deep dive from Peke. He shut him down. The kill onto Amazing. The goal. Tabzz will get stunned out shortly. And he's cold. Amazing lives to fight another day.
But that's
3
Baron.
members of ROCCAT down. And that should be Baron.
Oh, exactly why it was so risky for ROCCAT to make that play on the top side. Wait for your super minions instead. Baron for Origen now. Catching up in gold. Mid inhib just respawned. Bot lane inhib is going to respawn fairly soon, but it's not really an issue because Soaz is sitting in that bottom lane. He hasn't used his teleport, I think, all game long. Because he's just been split pushing over and over and over. Soaz hasn't seen his team, by the way, in like 50 minutes. So the reason ROCCAT stays here is because they're hoping that 1 man will face check to set up the Baron vision, and they kill him, and they will stop the Baron from happening. But the problem is, it's Elise doing it. It's Amazing doing it. Repel up in the air. He doesn't go down. So technically, the trap was smart enough, but just completely backfires for ROCCAT. Then Baron now for Origen, and suddenly, this is a very even game.
Suddenly we have a game on. Yesterday, Origen punished late game decision making of UOL to win. Today, they seem to be doing the same against ROCCAT, and it's something that Origen have done for many of their wins this split. They've relied on getting to late game, and then they've relied on either playing the map with a fed Soaz to mixed results, or alternatively winning big team fights. Great damage onto Betsy. Peke gets instantly tombed, and he cleanses away to safety. Noxiak is down. 5v4. Betsy goes golden, but he doesn't have a lot of support. There's a teleport coming in from Soaz. He's finally been able to use the summoner spell. 5 members of Origen will be able to collapse on Freddy. It only takes 4. A dash away. Riposte was used to block any potential damage, and a 5v3.
But that might be game, honestly, here. They have Baron. Look at the minion here in the back as well. Banner command buffing it up. Origen pushing in.
They're going to look for the base. Inhibitor turret is taken down. Inhibitor will fall shortly after. 50 seconds before Freddy comes back up. Origen decides to play this one safe. Take another inhib. And they're going to back away for now.
All right, playing it very safe. Still some good wave clear here from ROCCAT with Tabzz and Betsy alive. A lot of gold, though, from that one Baron. And Origen, they waited a long time, but they did decide to show up in the end. And like, this is just a team fight where suddenly we've hit that late game point where the damage from a Lissandra is very difficult to get off because it's cleanse and QSS, so you have to be very passive from Betsy. Also, Tabzz couldn't even join the fight. And then we see the TB from Soaz. He really wants to join. But he's not even going to be allowed to join this fight because he didn't even get an assist. Poor guy.
Insta cleanse from Peke.
He's, by the way, 0-2-0. Yep. No assist at all.
460 CS in 42 minutes. Bet you'll have most damage to turrets.
Yes, and minions. And minions. He's been...
They count. Still under-farmed in comparison to Zven. Oh, we may have another fight here. Although Amazing's not with the team.
With 464 CS.
500 CS has been picked up by Zven very shortly.
He stopped the Powerball.
Soaz does stop the Powerball. Taunt comes out. The support comes in from Origen. And Soaz finally gets a kill. 1v1. The Armadillo can be taken down. Tabzz and Noxiak are running forward. The dash backwards to the distort. Peke is taking everybody on a run. You can't catch me, he yells as he dashes away. Another Pillar of Ice comes up. There's 54 seconds before Freddy comes up. Origen have got supers in 2 lanes, and this could be the final push.
Yeah, another push from Origen. Super minions coming. No Baron buff anymore. And again, they're playing it safe. It's only Freddy down, so the wave clear is still there for ROCCAT. Take a dragon. It's gonna be your first. You deserve it. We're now 44 minutes in. Get some stats here.
You deserve it. That's such a good line.
Finally got their piece of the cake.
That's it.
Soaz should not have been pushing here, though his team is doing dragon. He's gonna be okay because Fiora late game.
Is Fiora late game.
But again, it was just pretty easy for him to run away. I got scared.
Well, get very scared when I see Soaz in lanes. A lot of the time these days. This time around, it works out. And it's also not the first time that Soaz, once he's hit level 16, once he's hit level 17, 18, has pulled so much threat.
Oh, yes.
That Origen can then claw their way back in. Tabzz is very fortunately outplaying Sivir for ROCCAT. The Crotochet, as it has become so well known on 6.4, is clearing up those waves quickly, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him with Soaz and supers in 2 lanes.
Yeah, Origen is just trying to pull them away to take tower. He's engaged, potentially.
Glacial Fissure comes down. That will split the team up. Will buy some time. Peck is deleted. ROCCAT may be winning, but look at Soaz. Soaz is on the Nexus. He's taken 1 turret. Teleport's coming out. It may be interrupted or cancelled. The Nexus turret's dropping very, very lowly. The minions will almost take it down. It lives to fight another day, but 2 members of Origen are down for at least a minute. Origen are now undermanned.
Soaz is just that kid that no one wants to play with because he's so annoying. And he just takes everything away from you because as soon as you leave him alone, he's in your base at your Nexus turret. The second Nexus turret now is down to just 8% HP, 450. That's 2 hits from Soaz and that tower is gone.
Exceptionally impressed. You figured that was 8% a minute. Well played.
Crazy math going on here.
Let's take a look. Soaz throws the challenge onto Betsy. Almost 3 shots him. Teleport comes down from Freddy. There's a kill already onto Betsy, evening out the numbers. Gonna continue the pressure. The repulse comes out. Stuns down. Sven's jumped on, but he's in trouble. Forced to flash away. Culling in retreat. Freddy's chasing him down. The AoE is up. Amazing. If he finds a cocoon, will stop Freddy where he stands. Sven cannot really auto attack. He's got lifesteal, but not that much. Dashes away. Sniped with the javelin toss. A recall comes up from Soaz. He has teleport available. He can backdoor. Peck is back on the team, and Origen are looking for opportunities.
Oh, there's such a problem for ROCCAT. They want to push into the base and get inhibs, but you have to respect Soaz's TP. No one can respond from ROCCAT in time.
I agree with the picture-in-picture, by the way.
Betsy on 30 seconds here. Concerned faces.
Oh, very concerned faces indeed.
You get your inhibs back, though. That's what ROCCAT gains here by getting that kill. So Soaz, again, late game here, he's an absolute monster. Destroying Betsy. Tower is still alive, so that's defensive TP used. Get him away. Sven's trying to help him get the tower down and then see if they can maybe finish, but everyone already recalled from ROCCAT. So this buys a bit of time. Mid inhib, respawning very soon. Top inhib, take a bit of time. The 2 inhibs are back up here. No turrets left in the game for ROCCAT. 2 Nexus turrets for Origen, and that is it.
See who wins this match. 1 mistake will decide it. Teleport advantage to Soaz. 50% cooldown available for Betsy, and Soaz has returned to lane to go toe-to-toe in the most exciting matchup we've seen. Fiora into Rammus. Baron is now live.
Not much Freddy can do at this point in this one-on-one. If he gets an ulti from Soaz and QSS, it actually helps ROCCAT because then they might try and force a team fight. Freddy will have so much more impact in a team fight, but he's been stuck in these side lanes against Soaz all game long. And ROCCAT only got that one engage in mid lane.
Oh, Soaz has positional advantage for now. Support from Betsy coming in.
We're gonna get a big Baron fight. No TPs at all. So Freddy has no TP, Soaz does have TP. Origen should be able to secure this one, or at least take a 5-on-4 team fight. As long as Soaz keeps the push going bot lane, or the pressure from it, Freddy won't be able to join in time, because if he leaves, Soaz takes your entire base. ROCCAT is in an almost impossible situation where Soaz doesn't even need minions to win the game.
Yep,
He
no
can
tower
just
standing.
walk by.
Absolutely no tower standing. Only one other game in the split has had this many towers.
Oh, ROCCAT has to surrender the
Taken
Baron,
down.
honestly. They just have to surrender Baron, because if they commit to it, Soaz again wins the game. So they need people to stay on bottom side, try and kill Soaz, and just give the Baron. Just give the Baron over.
They might be doing it though. Soaz is in trouble, being collapsed on by 3 members. Baron secured Soaz. He's gonna pull the attention. He's running for the Nexus. I don't know if he can finish it. We'll try to get some autos down. Has a riposte available for some CC. Riposte the Powerball. Lunges away. There's 3 members of ROCCAT chasing him. Soaz cannot pull a Peke. He will Mercurial Scimitar, but Origen have secured the Baron. 2.5 minutes on the Baron power play. Now they have to defend 5v4. I don't know if that was the smartest call.
No, again, this is the correct call from ROCCAT. They should just done it like a little bit quicker, you know, didn't have to lose the inhib, but still, it was the correct call. Soaz commits for inhib. You go down and say, you know what, Baron is yours. We cannot stop it, no TPs. They get the kill, meaning ROCCAT can now push into the base and should be able to get at least 2 inhibs down. Airwaks is trying to stop recalls.
Oh.
Succeeds so far, but oh, you gotta always be careful here because Origen might try and backdoor.
Good damage from Peke, forcing out the Hourglass from Betsy. That is a very, very big cooldown. Baron empowered minions. There's 2 gigantic siege cannons lined up. Oh, Airwaks gets chunked out. Peke is showing that even as an old dog, he's still got the tricks. Cocoon connects onto Freddy, buying time for Zven to push onto the inhibitor in the top lane. And Origen, they fended off the threat. Noxiak, I'm not sure you want this fight.
Buying time. They're trying to collapse on him. Soaz's TP alive in 6 seconds. There's minions in the base, but no wards from Origen. ROCCAT as well should have put a ward in the base of Origen right here, so they could potentially backdoor later. Zven will get in him.
There's the teleport from Soaz. The taunt comes out from Zven. He turns to the Nexus. The passive, the light slinger continues to shoot. The rest of Origen, they're pushing on. The Nexus is going down, and Origen finally close out the game.
Man, this game is the story of the entire ROCCAT season.
1, 2, 3, Origen! What a game.
I mean, you are so close to winning the game, and then you get one overcommitment, one big mistake, and everything falls apart, and suddenly the other team is back in the game. If ROCCAT wanted to have a chance of getting that number 7 spot and avoiding promotion tournament, this was the game.
Yeah.
But then again, we can also look back at 5-6 other games they played this, but I said, no wait, that was the game. Oh no, that was the game you should have won, because they were so close.
But it didn't work out in the end, and Origen make it dramatic. They make it real dramatic.
Yes, they do, and Soaz finished the game without a single assist. That's a real split pusher.
Yeah, 520 CS. Group huddle from ROCCAT running really, really long. There was a lot to take away from this game. ROCCAT did quite a lot well. Performed maybe better in the first 20 to 30 minutes than we've seen across a number of their games.
Especially the recent weeks, where they had been looking a little bit sloppy in the early game, but yes, totally. And Origen with the same issues we've seen before.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to late game, the experience you have as a team where you have so many veterans, even Peke back in the lineup, when it comes to all these backdoors and crazy split pushes, him and Soaz on Fnatic used to do this for years. Like this, they eat this for breakfast, these kind of split pushes late game. And that's so hard for a team like ROCCAT to kind of handle, Because so many things is going on communication-wise. Every single cooldown gets communicated. Every single push gets communicated. You know, can I push forward here? Where are you guys on the map right now? Can we do something? Because if one guy dies in a wrong spot, the game might be over for both teams. So
Yes.